Right, welcome back, everybody. You're with us here on Cape Rugby TV. Before we get started with our final match, which is, of course, Durban and Marty, so forget you can, of course, go to our Facebook page where you can enter the Spot the Team competition. Jerome, this one is a little bit more tricky. And, of course, we know that you know the answer, so we're going to ask you to not give away the name of the team because we want our folks to go and enter this competition on Facebook where they could potentially win a case of Score energy drinks. Of course, you can see Score behind me there right now. Let's just say, here's your tips, that they are from the west side and, of course, tend to travel a lot when they play in Super League A. Have you got it?
Yeah, and they also have a big fanfare.
Yes, they have a big fanfare. We, of course, saw that fanfare in their match against Kales River. So, folks, you can, as I say, take one more look. You can see here, this is the Spot the Team competition running on Facebook. And you can stand yourself a chance to win a case of Score. www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. Here we go. Final highlights of the second half. Durban against Marties. Huge game then, Durban Marties, and the end result then, of course, going in favour of Durban, and that keeps them towards the top of the log. Let's quickly take a look at all of your other results then that came in this weekend in Super League B. Fransch Hoek with a win over Vineyards, 35-29. Lunga, 26-20 over Strand. Belhar with a win over Hands and Hearts. Belleville, 77-36 over Young People. CPUT with a 1-point win over Collegians, and SK Warmers going down to All Saints this past weekend. And Paul, of course, taking the points, at least they're going, well, Kylemore taking the points. Jerome, a couple of interesting results there. All Saints really stepping up to the table there, taking a win over SK Warmers. It just goes to show the improvement that All Saints have made over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big win for them. It's not everybody going to the track and beat SK in Green Plain at the track, so that's a good win for them.
Another result that jumps out for me there, which was absolutely vital, is Belhar against Hands and Hearts. Belhar had to get these points to make sure that they stay away from that relegation space. And to do that against Hands and Hearts, who have really been sitting at number 5 on the log, that's a great result for Belhar.
Yeah, they've been struggling this whole season, Belhar. So obviously that is a massive result because Hands and Hearts is a quality side.
Yeah. Let's quickly then take a look at the logs in Super League B, folks. And of course, there you see SK Warmers sitting on top of the pile with only 1 loss, followed by Franschhoek, All Saints, CPUT, Hands and Hearts, and Belleville sitting in 6th place. And then, of course, still you see Collegians and Strand. Unfortunately, for the teams below Belleville, it is now over. But those are, in fact, our top 6 now, Jerome, for Super League B.
Yeah, it seems like that's pretty much done. Collegians still have 1 more game, but they can only get 5 points, so they can't catch up with Belleville.
Yeah, and then, of course, at the bottom of the log, it is definitely relegation space for Paarl and Young Peoples. And, well, Lunga looks like they're going to go to the playoffs, although we'll have to see if there's any movement still in the points differences there between for Lunga and Belhar. Still a little bit of a risky space. Let's quickly take a look at your results in Super League C. And then, of course, you see here it's a win for Albions over Scottsdene. Rangers with a win over Eerste Rivier. Blue Jets going, well, 15-10 against Busy Bees. Kraaifontein with a win over Hamadias. And Masiphumelele, 42 points to 5 over Morning Star. In the Paarl region, it was a win for Riverstones over Paarl Rangers. Young Standards with a win over Violets Paarl. Young Gardens going down to Lower Paarl. And then, of course, Allendale, 38-21 over Peril United. Jerome, it is a big weekend for a lot of clubs still this weekend.
Yeah, obviously there's massive, especially in the Super A.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who can still make it, and Super B is pretty much done.
Yeah.
With the teams who's going to stay in the top 6.
So
but for the other teams, I think other lower, there's still more to play.
So the teams that are still in the mix or in the danger space, this match tonight, Hamilton's and Marties, is going to be a deciding factor. Marties need these points to make sure that they squeeze to climb that log. Hamilton's need these points to avoid the jump because Villages are going to jump to higher on the log now. I believe tonight's game is a forfeit for them, so they'll automatically take the points. Then, of course, Unimill. So Unimill, Hamilton's, Villages, or Unimill and Hamilton's are, in fact, still in a danger space. So Villages is going to climb. Hamilton's and Unimill it's still unclear.
Yeah, I wonder, Hamilton's are going to this World Amateur Tournament.
Yeah.
So they're leaving pretty soon. So I wonder how serious they are because they're going to get to the top 6 and then obviously their main guys are going to go and play in there. So I don't know what is going to happen.
No, Jerome, there is no doubt for me that playing in the top 6 at Western Province Rugby is absolutely the important factor.
No, I say it is. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know if they're going to win the top 6 with the guys staying behind. But it's interesting they will be there. Or Marties can beat them and Marties can move up.
Yeah.
Still, yeah.
Well, let's take a look at your fixtures then coming up this weekend. In Super League A, it's 3 against 14. Helderberg against UWC. Unimill take on NTK. That's log position 5 against log position 13. It's going to be a massive match between UCT and Durban. That's a 1 and 2 top of the table clash. And then, of course, Kales River against Marties this weekend. And then, of course, Villages and Brackenfell. So it's going to be some big games this weekend, folks. CPUT against Carlamore, Vineyards against Lunga, Strand and Collegians, and SK Warmers in that derby match in Super League B. While in Super League C is Masiphumelele, it's 9 and 7, and Albions against Rangers. And Paarl fixtures, we see Peril United against Paarl Rangers, and Simondium against Young Gardens. Well, we've got some match barometers for you folks. Of course, Helderberg are up against UWC. Kales River take on Marties. And then, of course, but that's going to be changing this weekend. So the match barometer, in fact, is still 50-50. We'll have to see where that goes. Big one this weekend, UCT and Durban. Let's take a look at this. Log positions 1 and 2. Currently, UCT with 48 points on the log. Durban with 48 points on the log. Both teams, Jerome, have got a 69% win rate in this position. the odds go in favour of UCT because of the fan factor, but only because of the fan factor. Otherwise, well, there again, UCT, in terms of their points, is scoring 42 points at home when they play at home on average, and 27 for Durban when they play away. But a lot of factors in favour, in fact, of Durban, even though the fan factor says it's in favour of UCT. It's very confusing. Jerome, call it for me.
Look, I think if Durban can, which they have a big pack of forwards, if they can control the set pieces, the scrums in the lineouts, it's going to be tough for the students. But if the students are on the other side, if they're going to run at the green mile, it's going to be tough if Durban doesn't have a good, solid defensive system in place for the students, because they know they're going to run. And I think the parameters are pretty much spot on.
Final question for you. SK Warmers against Primrose this weekend. It's going to be a derby match. Primrose travels to the track. It's home ground advantage for SK Warmers, but in a derby match, we never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, also SK coming off a loss, so they'll obviously be not too happy about that, because they thought they're going to go this season unbeaten, so they don't want to lose another game.
And for Primrose, they know that they're a former Super League A outfit. They will be coming to win.
Yeah, it's going to be, look, there's going to be a lot of people at the track, so it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a good game.
Derby match.
Yeah.
Derby match spirit, right, folks? Get down there then this weekend. Well, you've got a whole host of games to pick from. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.